If you go back to last season, Kansas City has lost 11 straight ball games, and it may get much worse now that they're starting a second-year pro at quarterback. Jason Horowitz, Charley, Casserly from CBS Sports, glad to be with you on the NFL Previews presented by Comcast. It's the Chiefs in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. And Charley, let's start with the Kansas City problems at quarterback, because they've played 4 quarterbacks already in 2 games. And to say it's a problem is just an understatement. They're going to start Tyler Thigpen this week. What do you know about him?
Well, I was at the camp this summer and got a chance to look at Tyler Thigpen a little bit, and I like him physically. What he has what I call a live arm. Quick release, the ball comes out fast. There you can see his stats from last week. 151 yards is not bad for 14 completions, but obviously below 50% there, and you can see Hewitt and Higgins weren't very impressive in the short time that they got a chance to play. So I think that he has some physical talent, very inexperienced. What happens when you're inexperienced is ability to read defenses, ability to read blitzes, to make checks, and which is something new. Their offense, they've instituted checks at the line, which they didn't have in the past. You're kind of limited in what you can do offensively.
Well, you also need a balanced rushing attack to help you out. And Larry Johnson this week has come out and said, I want the football more. And Herm Edwards said he should want the football more. But I guess the question really should be, can they actually run it with the offensive line that they have?
Well, first of all, give the Kansas City coaching staff some credit here. Herm Edwards, the offensive coordinator, Chan Gailey, they understand what Larry Johnson's value is to the football team. But as Jason alluded to in his question, the offensive line is young and inexperienced. Here you can see only averaging 2.8 yards in 2 games. Now, you can say you want to give them a lot of touches. Well, guess what Atlanta's going to do? They're going to put 8 people in the box. They might put 9 people in the box against them. That young, inexperienced offensive line is a bigger issue than the coach's strategy at this point in time.
And you talked about getting after Tyler Thigpen. John Abraham having a great season to start the year, just in 2 games already with 4 sacks. So Abraham doing very well. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, last week a struggle in Tampa Bay. Matt Ryan went from having a great debut at home in Week 1 to the rookie struggles that you would expect. But now he's taken on a Kansas City secondary. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, the key to the Atlanta offense is their ability to run the football with Turner and Norwood, both running backs. They kind of complement each other. Turner got power and speed. Norwood's got speed. Now, Matt Ryan in the first game threw the ball 13 times. Last week, as you can see here, he throws 33 times. There's the 2-interception difference. You got to take the ball out of his hands. He's a young guy. Get the running game going. Now, as Jason pointed out, Kansas City starting 2 rookie corners. Brandon Flowers out of Clemson and Brandon Carr, a middle-round draft choice this year. So that's going to be an advantage for the Atlanta Falcons. They're playing at home. The crowd noise is not going to hinder them like it would last week in Tampa. I think they'll be able to run the ball. I think they'll take their shots at those rookie corners.
And running the ball on Kansas City is something that Oakland did last week. 300 yards rushing against Kansas City. Don't forget, the Falcons had 318 in Week 1 against the Lions, so they know how to put up yards on the ground, especially at home. Let's throw all the numbers into the computer. The AccuScore prediction, 10,000 tests, 10,000 results, 54% of the time. This, again, just mathematical. The Falcons came out on top. So maybe it's closer than people think, but I guess the computer doesn't really like the Falcons that much. Who do you like?
I think there's a lot of people that went to Coastal Carolina who are voting in that survey right now.
That's the
only thing I can say.
The computer was built at Coastal Carolina.
I guess it must have been. Falcons. I think the Falcons right now, they're clearly better at quarterback from just an experience point of view. At least
and that's
Matt Ryan's got 2 starts.
That's unbelievable to say when you're starting a guy who's making just his 3rd start. Atlanta just 1-5 all time against Kansas City. They'll look for their 2nd win in the rivalry. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff on CBS. And for more on this game or any other in Week 3, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Charley Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.